let's go the other way now, because that was such a, uplifting thing. You want to talk about the modern condition, the modern man?
3 months ago, I decided to...
This guy right here. Check out this guy, Andrew Platt. I moved to Disney World to cure my depression. Did it work? So this guy here,
3 months ago,
Andrew Platt, he this was his first video that did well like 3 weeks ago, and it looks like he's getting subs. And I'm not watching his video to shit on him. I'm just watching it to kind of show you guys, you want to shit on the ICP people. Let's examine a guy who doesn't have the community that someone who is a juggalo has, and is just sort of drifting through life like a leaf.
I decided to pack up everything I own.
Okay, here we go.
3 months ago, I decided to pack up everything I own, move 2,000 miles away from the city I grew up in to live in Orlando, Florida, where I now visit theme parks every single day. I want to tell the story of why I did it, how I did it, and how it's going. Now, I'm sure a lot of you can kind of relate to this. You spend most of your free time scrolling through social media, maybe watching YouTube or Netflix, or just playing video games. You don't really have a lot of close friends, but you also don't really know where to meet new friends as an adult. Well, it definitely feels like the world has become a bit of an antisocial place these days. It's just so much more convenient for everybody to just stay in their own little bubble with their endless entertainment tailored specifically towards them.
So, he kind of lays this out at the beginning that he admits, he's looking for community. He's looking for Diogenes, back in the day, whatever it was, like 80 AD or whatever, Diogenes supposedly walked around with a lantern. He would light it during the day to burn oil to make some point. I don't know what the point was, that he's retarded or something. And he would walk around with a lantern lit during the day, and he would say, "I'm looking for an honest man." This guy, this is a modern Diogenes, but he's saying, I'm looking for someone who gives a shit about me. I'm looking for one person who might care if I live or die. This guy has nobody. He has a job where he works from home. He went through the pandemic in Salt Lake City, which, as we know, is... Salt Lake City is, Mormons are like Christian Insane Clown Pot in terms of the love for soda and the everything else. But this guy here, he has depression. Doesn't look like he goes to the gym or does anything like that, and he works inside all day. He doesn't get any sunlight. He doesn't go on walks. He doesn't have anybody to talk to about his life. So let's see how he wants to cure it. In the way Herman Melville tried to cure his depression, which, ultimately I don't know if it worked. I'm sure it alleviated it, is he wanted to go on whaling ships and sail around the world and see the world. That's what this young man is doing. He's moving across the country to go to theme parks. So Walt Disney may take him on his quests.
And it keeps us always thinking that we're satisfied. There's not a whole lot of real-world public places that people just go and spend time and hang out. Especially not places for single introverted people.
Is that true, Dylan? Mormons love to party? I didn't know that.
Stay in their own comfort zone and stick to what's convenient. But speaking of convenience, I've actually been working...
The Mormon couples I follow on Instagram are harrowing. The lady with the big gums and the tiny teeth. I think Meat Canyon even did a cartoon about her. The love of coffee and soda makes me sick to my stomach, and I love soda. It's demonic. It's absolutely demonic what they're doing. Okay, back to this video though. So he works from home. Let's keep the narrative.
Stay in their own comfort zone and stick to what's convenient. But speaking of convenience, I've actually been working a remote work job for the past few years, where I just work from my home computer. Now I know everyone sees like, oh, you work from home. That's like the dream life. And yeah, I mean, it is nice. It is convenient that I don't have to waste time commuting and waste time trying to act busy throughout the day. But it also can be a bit of a nightmare because I wake up, I get on my computer, I do work for half the day, and then maybe I'll play video games for half the day, and then I'll shut down my computer and go back to bed. And then the next day it's the same thing. Power up my computer, sit on the computer all day, and then go back to bed. And for the last few years, that's been basically my entire life. I mean, sometimes I'd go almost a whole week without ever going outside. And maybe during like the summers, I would at least go out for like a night walk around the neighborhood around midnight. But for the most...
So this guy is actually pretty smart. I think he understands that his lifestyle, isn't a symptom of his depression, that his depression is actually a symptom of his lifestyle. It's the other way around. I think he understands that, but he doesn't really know what to do and doesn't know where to go. How do you make friends? I think he's 30 now in this video, even though he looks pretty young, but he's in his. Let's just keep watching.
I was just completely isolated. Now, I've always wanted to go out and try new places and try new things, but every time I would open up Google Maps to look around and see if there's any place I want to try out, I was basically met with the exact same map that I'd seen thousands of times before.
He's gonna relate it to a video game.
Utah for my entire life.
He's gonna compare it to like Red Dead Redemption.
There was to do. Like, you ever play an open world game where you open up the map and it shows like a check mark for the areas you've cleared? I felt like every time I opened the map of Salt Lake City, I just had check marks across the whole thing, and there was nothing left to do. I mean, I always had people giving me suggestions like, oh, if you want to meet people, you should go to bars or clubs, or you should take some classes or join some hobby group. But I'm just like, I don't want to go way out of my way doing something I'm not even really going to enjoy, just for the slight chance that maybe I'll make a friend there. So yeah, I basically just spent years rarely ever leaving the house. I spent the majority of my 20s just kind of bouncing from one hobby to another, whether it was playing guitar, playing drums.
This is the guy right here. Man's search for meaning. You know, he gets a bunch of hobbies. He plays bass. It's all meaningless.
Making YouTube videos, playing video games, snowboarding, hiking, biking.
He does it all.
I was noticing towards the end of my 20s that it was like all of my hobbies just sort of started getting boring all at the same time. So while wandering the internet, I came across another hobby that I'd kind of forgotten about. And that was that I always remember loving theme parks and roller coasters growing up. And so sometime towards the end of COVID, I started looking.
So this is, what I like about this too is it's very transparent in that, you know, he admits that his yearning is regressive itself. Because, you know, the Disney people, it's like, you know, you can be a kid forever. It's like, well, you're 300 pounds, you have a bunch of hemorrhoids on your ass, and your husband's dick doesn't work. So I don't know what about your life as being a kid, other than you giggling while you eat ice cream every night before your husband smothers you with a pillow, God forbid. You know, the Disney stuff, it goes without saying, you know, it's a sick, demonic, satanic death cult. Walt Disney was probably possessed by the same evil Hitler was, and I hate everything about it. Now, that doesn't mean, you know, I won't take my kids or whatever and hug Goofy and shit. I'm sure it's... But regardless, this guy is going to move to Disney World from one shithole to another. Salt Lake City is very pretty, but, you know, if you're not a Mormon, you're not in the big club. I mean, it's like being a goy in LA. It's a lonely place if you're not in the club. Just yesterday, by the way, a Jew on a bike came up to me and my family in a park in Malibu, and he had a menorah strapped to the back like it was they were police shotguns. And he gave me the clap. This has happened to me hundreds of times in LA. It's, excuse me, sir. He got off his bike. Excuse me, sir. And I know it's coming. They always ask it. Are you Jewish? Before I answer, they always have a look in their eye where they're looking at me. And I love this moment when I interact with Jews, because for a moment, they look at me as if I am another human being with feelings and a soul and a brain. And as soon as I say no, their eyes glaze over and go glassy, kind of like a reptile's, if I'm being honest. And then they go, okay, no worries. And they go right back to ignoring my existence completely. I've never said yes. I don't know what would happen if I said yes. But he was riding around in the park going, excuse me, sir, are you Jewish? And everyone goes, no. Okay, have a nice day. And then get back on the bike and start riding around. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's just like a delivery boy for Tomahawk missiles. You know, he's carrying bombs to blow. You know, he's carrying all the pagers to blow Muslims up with from one side of the city to the other, so they can ship them from LAX to Tel Aviv. I don't know what's going on, but I have people knock on my door. I answer. It's a guy in a weird hat, and he smells bad, and he has bad teeth and weird hygiene and the curls and the glasses, and I know the words that are about to come out of his mouth before he even says them. Hi, sir. Are you Jewish? No. Okay, have a nice day. And then it turns from this. This is me in the room. As soon as they figure out I'm not Jewish, it's this. I don't exist anymore. I'm a ghost. Suddenly I'm translucent. They can't see me. Hello, sir. Hi. They can't hear me. They can't see me. I'm Scrooge in the Ghost of Christmas Past now. I can't be seen. I can't be interacted with. They can't pass through to the other side. As soon as they figure out I'm not Jewish. And I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what they're going to ask. I've never said yes. I probably never will because honestly, it's always such an upsetting experience. If I say yes, do they just give me a bunch of money? Is that how being Jewish works? I don't really know. I'm not in the club, so I wouldn't know. I'm always offended. Not going to lie. I'm going to look down the barrel of the camera. I'm always offended when it happens. Please, if you're Jewish and you're listening to this and you're one of the weird, smelly guys in stained, sweaty clothes, riding around on bikes with menorah strapped to the back, asking people if they're Jewish, please, if you ever see me, don't fucking ask me if I'm Jewish. Stop. Leave me the fuck alone. I'm not Jewish. Okay? I took a DNA test. I'm closer to being black than I am Jewish. And I'm proud of that. Okay? Okay, babe? Okay, babe? I'm not Jewish. Stop fucking asking me. Hello, sir. Are you Jewish? No! No! I'm just going to start screaming next time. No! My mic, it's fucked up my mic. Yes. This is how, when he walks up to other people and asks them if they're Jewish, here's how they answer. Yes, I am Jewish. Wow. Oh, you are? Well, then. Seeing how we're both Jewish, let's do the chant. Slow-mo. Summoning a fucking giant Satan before them. Stop asking me if I'm Jewish. I'm not, and it offends the fuck out of me that you do that. I mean, what I'm offended by the way, is just try to make it seem like for a moment that you give a shit about people who aren't Jews. Don't move along immediately. The asking of the question, I mean, could it be more obvious that you don't give a flying fuck about anybody that aren't in your tribe? It's disgusting. You think anybody likes that you do that? Has nobody told the Orthodox Jewish Church? Has anyone gone down to the temple and been like, hey, stop asking people if they're Jewish. It's upsetting. And it's insanely transparent. It's unbelievably offensive. And it's fucking annoying. And get away from me. Stop doing that. And I don't hate Jews. I have Jewish friends, okay? I've been to I've been the Shabbos goy or whatever they say. I've been invited to Shabbat on Fridays. I've seen them do the chants and everything. It's once I've had neighbors in LA that are Jewish that I'm friends with. Whatever. I'm friends in the way you're friends with your neighbors. Hi, hello. You have dinner with them sometimes. I'm not, exactly about to go on a road trip with them to Tel Aviv to hurl grenades over the wall. But stop asking me. I'm sick. I'm one ask away from moving to Texas, by the way. Excuse me, sir, are you Jewish? From me getting on my phone and buying a one-way flight to Dallas, Texas, because I'm that sick of it. Anyway. God damn it. I don't even want to be the angry guy, but I mean it's fucking. I'm at my wit's end here in LA. Every billboard is pro Israel. Every they constantly talk about being oppressed and everything else, and it's just I've fucking had it, man. I fucking had it with the bullshit. Okay, babe. Okay, babe. We're all sick of it. We're all sick of it, and knock it off. That's my message. That's my message. It's time to knock it the fuck off.
Looking into all of the different theme parks around the country. So in 2021, I took a vacation out to the Midwest, doing Six Flags Great America, Cedar Point, and Kings Island.
So he takes the trip and he ends up liking it, right? And he goes, so my new interest is just going to be theme parks, is what this guy decides. So then he plans it. And boy, this guy, I mean, boring stories. He's like dropping his cat off at his mom's place, which red flag. And I had to judge him for that, just dropping his cat off. It's like, I don't know, man. The bond between cat and man, especially guys like that, this guy will cut anybody out. He must have been really depressed. It must have been, people wonder, it's that metaphor. Why would someone kill themselves by jumping out of a building? And it's because they would desire to fall rather than burn in the flames. They couldn't stand the heat anymore in the burning building, and that's why they jumped. That's what this man is doing. He's at a burning building, which is, Mormon hell, aka Salt Lake City. And he thinks it'd be a great idea to go to Orlando, which, I mean, Orlando sucks cock, but I couldn't blame him there.
We go through Atlanta, some of the worst traffic I've seen the whole trip, and then we finally arrive in Orlando at 8 p.m. on Friday.
Because, Salt Lake City is already full of Disney adults. The Mormons there, they drink soda, their gums are really big, they look disgusting.
Let's just say that's probably
you might as well go to Orlando anyway.
And we were so sick of pulling this trailer by this point, so we just took it over to U-Haul and left it there. And then we went to Walmart to get an air mattress.
Boring. Let's get to the bullshit.
Have to spend. I mean,
so this is what he gets. Here's him paying for all of his passes to cure his depression.
Hotels and rental cars and eating out for every meal while feeling exhausted because you're just rushing to get as much done as possible in the short time period you have. And trust me, I understand all of that. I've done those trips. However, being a local really changes the dynamics quite a bit. I mean, for one, I was shocked to see just how affordable it is for locals to visit these parks compared to how much vacationers have to spend. I mean, I probably spent less on my annual passes, giving me full year access, than a lot of people spend on just spending like 2 weeks here. Plus, I can take it easy anytime I go. If it's too crowded, I'll come back later. If a ride's down, I'll come back later.
So he doesn't even have to have anxiety about being at the theme park, about being in the fantasy world. He's chosen to reside. He's rejecting the real world, and he's literally living in a fabricated world. He thinks this is the answer to his depression.
Bad, I'll come back later. If I'm feeling tired or just not in the mood, then I'll just come back later. I basically just never have to push myself to do what I'm not in the mood for.
By the way, he mentions in this video, he moved in February, and this is an update from 3 weeks ago. So he's been in Florida. Let's just round it out to a year. He says on his calendar, he marked that there has been only 9 days he hasn't gone to a theme park. He goes every fucking day. There is a darkness this guy's running from I don't even understand. There is an Anton Chigurh tracking this man down. He's being gang stalked by the darkest of demons. It really sucks, man.
You can't really do so.
Because you feel bad for him. You feel like it'd be so easy for him to be happy if he just had a lady or just had people he could go do bar trivia with, or so because he's kind of a boring middle IQ guy, which there's nothing wrong with. If you're a boring middle IQ guy, you're kind of set up to just life to be gravy, be really happy and content and fulfilled. And somehow this guy he slipped through the cracks, the Wojak cracks. This Wojak slipped through the cracks. He didn't land on his feet. And I feel bad for him because now he's just wandering Disneyland like a ghost every day.
mentally if you've only got a few days here. Like, I'll never forget one of the first days I was here where I was just like finishing up on work for the day, and I was like, you know, I've never been to Epcot. You know, maybe I'll just go there like right now.
Boring. So he talks about Florida, and then he talks about
here all the time. But would I say that
depression.
moving here cured my depression? I mean, in some ways, I guess it kind of did. I certainly don't get the feeling like my life is wasting away nearly as much now. And it's been really good for me to push myself outside my comfort zone. And it does feel like a bit of an adventure, you know, living far away from family. I get a lot more exercise now and a lot more sunshine and a lot more social interaction, which was my goal of moving here. And I mean, I was just so done with my old life that I wanted to get as far away from it as I could. Now, I know a lot of other people have felt the same sort of
I can't really argue with that. You know, you need a reason to get out of the house. And now that he has a lifetime membership to Disney or whatever the hell, he can, he goes out, he actually, gets some vitamin C from the sun. It's depressing as hell,
depressive state. I mean, like I said, everyone's really lonely because we're all addicted to our screens now. Now, I'm not saying that everyone needs to move to Orlando.
It makes boring sort of Wojak points. Everybody's addicted to their screens, blah, blah, blah,
If you're feeling depressed, I get that this lifestyle is not really for everyone, but I do recommend every once in a while you should kind of just reevaluate what's going on in your life and ask yourself.
So when you guys see that there is a young man goes at a rampage on Disneyland, 12 dead, 15 more injured, police outside, the FBI is being called, SWAT teams are dropping in, you'll know it's this guy. This goes this guy's got 6 more months before he ends up, just surrounded by police, and he's wondering how many more seconds he has before he has to put the AR-15 in his mouth like Full Metal Jacket. This guy would be lucky to end up like Private Pile. I'm not making a joke here. I'm not trying to be hyperbolic or cartoonishly comedic. This guy's best end is walking into a Disneyland bathroom with an AR-15 and sitting down on the toilet and wrapping his lips around that cold blue steel for the first and final time and pulling the trigger before he harms anyone. This guy gets on the wrong medication or, gets a girlfriend and 2 weeks later finds out he didn't really have a girlfriend. And then he starts, watching Hickok 45 on YouTube and getting really into guns and thinking about joining the army. And then 7 months later, he's parading around Disneyland like he's Colonel Kurtz or something. It's not good, man.
Yeah, outdoor grooming.
So this is The Legend of the Admiral. Dylan said this thing is, he says it's pretty interesting. This is a very rich homeless person. Is that what you said? He's very, very wealthy, but chooses to be homeless. I don't really understand the context. No, it's not dark.
Homeless. Okay. I don't need 4 walls. This is where I live.
That's badass.
Unfortunately, I'm on high ground, but don't get off into this wet stuff because it's contaminated with feces.
The homeless whites in America, they still don't live like the Indians. I see Instagrams constantly of them dunking their heads in over there. They got dunk tanks full of shit. They roll around in shit. They eat shit. They in India, they need like a bidet for their face. This guy's still like, he's like, I'm homeless and I do drugs, but I'm not Indian. I'm not your average Indian person.
I'm on high ground, but don't get off into this wet stuff because it's contaminated with feces.
See, he even knows.
Hey, Admiral, thanks for dinner, dude.
Yeah, man.
First world country. If water's contaminated with feces.
You like that, huh? Right now, I'm homeless by choice.
He's the most.
He's homeless and drives that $120,000 Mercedes there.
$139,000.
Badass. So he has a Mercedes. Dylan knows about cars. What kind of car is this? Mercedes what?
Mercedes is there. It is.
$139,000.
$139,000 Mercedes. He's a rich guy. He just doesn't want to pay bills, and he's homeless. Lives outside. That's good milk. He's buying good milk. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's the Strauss Family Farms, the cream top milk. That's nice. That's the good shit. Bring the bottle back, you get it like $3.50 too. I bet he keeps bringing the bottles back, and I'm sure he's economical to some degree. He's got the same gloves as love this. I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but when I see these gloves, I always think of Dexter's Lab. I think of Dexter's mom. Remember the episode when she fights for the last pair of rubber gloves at the store?
Okay.
Love that episode.
Yeah, I'm not paying off a mortgage. The fuck, I'm living here.
Yeah.
I'm living here for free. You know, I don't have a student loan. I didn't get fucked up on $140,000 to become a, what do people try to be nowadays? I don't know, business finance. I'm an apathist. The agnostic says I don't know. The apathist says I don't care.
Do you ever cared?
No.
Is he, Dylan, for context, is he on crack or anything? He seems to have a little bit of a dopey look to him.
And I just found out my great-grandmother, full-blooded Italian. That explains a lot. That explains why, once again, I am boss of a city. Yeah, I got locked up a lot in Florida and Louisiana. But all my crimes...
By the way, if you're Italian and you tell people you're Italian and you're listening to the show, I want you to know that no one gives a shit. And it's one of the most uninteresting things about you is you saying that your ancestry about the Italian thing, and it explains a lot. No one gives a shit. It's not interesting. Shut the fuck up.
...are honorable.
I just docked this guy a couple points by... trying to mention he's Italian, that has. Oh, really? So are you a descendant of Leonardo da Vinci? Are you a descendant of Bruno? What about Goethe? Oh, wait, no, I'm listing a German guy. Fuck, I look like a retard. Let me take that one back. But Bruno I did get. The expulsion of the triumphant beast. I'm not done with it, but it makes no sense to me. But I am reading it. I know a little bit about the WAPs.
Crimes, so... just felonies.
No, it doesn't mean I dislike Mike Racine. I'm just saying it's a very boring thing to constantly say you're Italian. No one... It's just boring. It's boring as shit. Unless you actually sound like an Italian, you have a chain and all that stuff, and you live in New York. But if not, if you just look like a white guy, no one gives a shit that you're Italian, and it's boring. Shut up.
Yep. How's that ham and carrots?
It's good.
Got garlic in there, y'all. Yeah, I just found out my great-grandmother's 100% Italian.
Oh, wow.
That explains a lot. It's a little old lady town. People sit up in their little shitbox apartments and houses. They regularly send what they call chronic inebriants to our camp here, and they ask them to stay here. They go to the camp. And what a blessing that is to be able to have a place like this, an open air insane asylum where people can just freak out and get nasty.
But when I moved here, they did have the homeless, but they were in like another area. There was like smoke and partying, and the police had to come. And
I did see explosions down there from my house.
Explosions?
Well, homeless people get bored and they build pipe bombs. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Logically, it makes sense.
This explosion happened last night.
An explosion. They say many were running to safety.
The city of Sausalito is tearing down an unauthorized homeless camp.
This camp had become a real problem, and now the city has closed it. Everyone is gone, and it was up to each individual to decide where they would go next.
I guess, homeless people in America are so lazy, they want to be nomads without actually being nomadic. They don't move about from place to place. They're not into displacement, so you have to force them to keep moving. Because otherwise, it becomes a pretty unsanitary problem, and then like an open air drug market, right? So they kind of have to push them along. But homeless people need to take a lesson out of the Native American playbook. You gotta be nomadic. Go where the sun is shining. Where can you plant your seed and do this and do that? You gotta constantly be on the move. Because you're not going to be supplied with like housing or any sort of like mental health treatment, or you're fucked anyway, and you're probably past help, or you don't want help or whatever. But I don't know. Just read up on the Comanche and become like them, because they're always going to keep making you move along. Just how it is.
Fucking bastards scattered my little tribe all over the place, and most of them will probably never come back.
People have given up on, solving any of these problems in America. Now it's just playing hot potato with the issue. So. And I hate to even have an opinion on the homeless, because everybody's got to have a fucking, when it comes to grifters, they all got some big hot take on homeless people. And I don't know, man. No one ever lets the homeless speak for themselves. People make fun of homeless people all the time. They make fun of homeless people in establishments where homeless people aren't allowed. I don't know. It seems very cowardly to.
I'm hoping to find enough gold.
Isn't this a song from The Straight Story? I think it is. It is Lawrence Walking by Angelo Badalamenti from The Straight Story by David Lynch. I love this little violin.
In these northern goldfields to put a new engine in my yacht.
Smoking weed.
But no, it's probably half my adult life I've been homeless, but all by choice.
Yeah, this guy's kind of becoming more interesting as it goes, because he's living like The Straight Story right now. He's telling everybody he's Italian. He's
a cartel enforcer for a very prominent Cuban crime family, which I won't speak any more about. I'm quite sure I'm the only survivor.
Where's he going? Does he even know?
I got a call from the bank. I have to inform you that your father died 3 weeks ago. And so I said to her, so you're calling to tell me I'm a millionaire? When that was...
Okay, this guy actually kicks ass. This guy absolutely rules.
A nice call to get. Life-changing. Yeah, no, don't miss him at all. Have no feelings for him whatsoever.
This guy kicks so much ass.
Why do you think that is?
Well, just a lack of respect. One time he told me, you'll never make it pushing a wheelbarrow. And I should have said to him, well, what's your idea of making it? 3 failed marriages and a son who hates your guts? But I didn't say that. In fact, if my father could have stopped me from getting that money, he probably would have. So, the amount that I got was like a slap in the face. I should have gotten at least $100 million, and I didn't get anywhere close to that. Really, my only job in life should have been to manage my inheritance and do charity work. Unfortunately, Americans don't value generational wealth like the British do. So Americans have this Horatio Algiers, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, no one gave me anything mentality, which a lot of times is not true.
Is your mom alive?
No, my mother died over 20 years ago, which I just found out a couple of years ago that she died. So
but your love is
And then it's playing some song as he smokes weed. Yeah, that guy kicks ass. He's really figuring it out, huh?